Hello, good evening. Welcome to Star TV Newsroom with me, Momodu Bailabari. First, our headlines. Combating crime and ensuring safety. Gambia Police Force boasts canine unit with trained dogs. Political leaders dialogue. Honorable Salah highlights urgency of data improvement and education. Creating awareness on Gambia's mental health. Bill, Ministry of Health and partners conduct day-long forum for NAMS. Alleviating financial burden of students at Majak. Media Run and partners launch scholarship program. On the international news, Senegal unrest calls for justice and democracy grow amid election outrage. South Africa makes urgent request to ICJ on Israel's Rafah offensive. Zambia, Zimbabwe cholera emergency. Schools reopen amid clean water constraints. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Many thanks for joining us. The Gambia Police Force has taken a significant step towards enhancing their security sector reforms by handing over 8 trained dogs to the Canine Unit K9 at the PIU headquarters in Kanifing. These dogs will work alongside police officers in efforts to combat crime and ensure the safety of the country. Hadi Jaju tells us more.
In a historic moment for the Gambia Police Force, the establishment of the K9 unit marks a milestone in the Gambia's law enforcement history. These specially trained dogs will provide invaluable assistance to officers during operations. During the handover ceremony, Commissioner of Police at the Intervention Unit, CP Adeline Basange, expressed gratitude to IGP Sanyang for his vision in modernizing the police force and acknowledged the positive impact the dogs will have on the unit's capabilities.
So today, this morning, his idea and vision is what we are about to see, and the dogs will be definitely enhance our operations in the manner in which he thought about. So on that note, I wish to welcome you once more to witness these very, very important activities this morning.
The canines have completed the first phase of their induction, training with their handlers. PASP Gambia Coordinator Mr. John Sock expressed appreciation to the police force for the opportunity to collaborate in facilitating the dogs. He emphasized the significant role these dogs will play in combating crime rates.
Some of the things that the dogs are trained to do is to do things like criminal apprehension. Sometimes, as you see, the police sometimes they have problem apprehending a criminal that's running faster than them, that's jumping fence and things like that. But these dogs are very agile. They can do that. They can run faster than anybody. They can run faster than the officers, and they can help apprehend the personnel until the officer comes and cuff them and take them into custody, which is a very good improvement. These dogs are also trained for guarding and protecting secure areas. So if the police wants to guard and secure a certain area, they can have this police man post there, position there to make sure that nobody enters or nobody leaves the area, which is a very good thing. They also can do building search. They can search building for hidden subjects or hidden suspects, or if somebody is hiding somewhere, they can go in, whether it's a dangerous situation or not, the dogs can go in and search and apprehend whoever they're looking for.
To ensure the comfort and hygiene of the dogs, appropriate shelters have been provided to help them adapt to their new environment and prevent contamination or infections. Additionally, one female dog has been included in the unit for breeding purposes, aiming to produce more of their kind within the country and reduce reliance on importing dogs. CP Mustafa Ndong, representing the IGP, highlighted the introduction of the K9 unit as a vital component of the security sector reforms. This initiative, he said, aims to prioritize the safety of the Gambia's population and underscores the police force's commitment to reforming policies.
Many police organizations around the globe have this unit established. But for the Gambia, this is the first time we are introducing the K9 unit. And what is the objective of introducing this unit? We want to enhance the safety and security of the Gambian people. This is the objective, this is the dream, this is the aspiration of the police management under the leadership of Inspector General of Police General Abdoulaye Sanyang.
This initiative, he said, aims to prioritize the safety of the Gambia's population and underscores the police force's commitment to reforming policies. The highly trained canine dogs will have a wide range of responsibilities, including searching for drugs and explosives, locating missing individuals, finding evidence at crime scenes, protecting officers and civilians, and apprehending suspects who attempt to flee. Some of the names of the dogs are Omad, Ayo, Kachi, Nasin, Mande, and Lamdo. For Star TV News, I am Hadijaju.
During a meeting with political party leaders at the State House in Banjul, Honorable Halifa Ababakar Sallah, the leader of the Doi party, among others, emphasized the importance of accurate tracking mortality rates and addressing the underlying causes, while also urging for a focused effort to strengthening the nation's education system. The discussions, prompted by President Adama Barrow's invitation, aimed to address critical issues affecting the country and foster the development of a more prosperous and independent society with peace and stability. Here is an excerpt.
There must be institutions of socialization. We must train the people who are to serve as service deliverers, the nurses, the teachers, the technicians of all sectors of society. And if we look at our civil service, these are the people who will constitute that service sector. We must train them. We must nurture them. We must nurture sovereign citizens so that we become one, independent of our sex, independent of our religion, independent of our ethno-linguistic groups. We must become Gambians. But to do that, we must train them. That is why the educational system must be interrogated. Are we really training sovereign Gambians? Are we really nurturing sovereign Gambians who love country and people? That is the trajectory. And those people are the people who would be the builders of the nation that we hope to develop. Number two, it is essential to have that social pillar. Honorable members here, Your Excellency the President, we all know that the issue of life expectancy is important. Look at the number of people who are passing away. How do we increase the longevity of their lives? We look at child mortality, maternal mortality, and it is important to improve the quality of our data because many people in our society have this privacy and respect for the dead that many will bury without informing the state. So how can we ensure that everybody who passes away would be recorded so that we have really improved data and know the causes of death so that we'll know how to really prevent many of the deaths? That is important. The issue of poverty. If we say half the population are living in abject, how do we address those issues? That is important. But we must have the data and then look for ways and means of addressing the issues of poverty. The next element is the economy. That economic foundation, all of us must bear in mind that there are imbalances between import and exports, imbalances between revenue and expenditure. We must take note of this. What is responsible for that? We look at remittances, they are in fact more than even our earnings from imports. So we must look at all this, and we must look at all these correlations in order to find out why are we not able to build an economy which will move away merely from taxation in rendering services to be able to build a productive base to be able to address all the concerns. These are issues, national issues we should address.
From Honorable Sallah there, and now to moving on to another news. In an effort to prioritize mental health and engage in a crucial discussion surrounding it, the Ministry of Health and partners over the weekend hosted a day-long mental health bill awareness forum. The event brought together diverse stakeholders, experts, and concerned citizens under one roof, aiming to shed light on the pressing need for comprehensive mental health reform. Mbaikor reports.
The forum, held on Saturday, 10th February, witnessed a remarkable turnout, with attendees representing a wide array of sectors, including policymakers, healthcare professionals, mental health advocates, and members of the National Assembly. The primary objective of the Mental Health Build Awareness Forum was to generate awareness and promote a robust dialogue around mental health legislation. The Ministry of Health recognized the urgency of addressing mental health issues effectively, highlighting the need for comprehensive legal framework that protect and promote the well-being of individuals grappling with psychological challenges. The program manager of the National Mental Health Program, Mam Jara Marenga, outlines some of the responsibilities around coordinating and facilitating all mental health activities.
The National Mental Health Program, as you are aware, is the program under the Ministry of Health that coordinates and facilitates all mental health activities in the country. And this includes the clinical services, the community mental health, as well as administrative responsibilities.
The forum features a series of enlightening panel discussion where experts from various fields shared their insights and experience on topics ranging from the prevalence and impact of mental health disorder on individuals, families, and communities to the importance of the destigmatizing mental health and fostering inclusive care. Chairperson Health Select Committee of the National Assembly, Honorable Amadou Kamara, alluded that the issue of mental health is challenging and no one is exceptional.
And for the Ministry of Health, the struggle continues. This is the right stakeholders as far as this issue is concerned. The issue of mental health, as the technicians and the technocrats have said, it's a cross-cutting issue. It affects everyone. Even I myself, I might be sitting here, but I can be mentally challenged. So, and it applies to everybody. So it is not the matter, whereas it only affects maybe a section of the society or section of the population. It affects everybody. And as far as we are concerned, and as representative of the people, please count on us. This is an advocacy, whatever that you want us to take, whatever message that you want us to take to the population, and whatever legislation you want us to put across, whatever treaty or whatever that you want us to ratify, please notify us and let us know. And when it comes to budget and budgetary allocations, we understand there's a process involved, but of course always led through the Ministry of Health and through the Health Committee, and we will take it up.
World Health Organization Health Promotion Specialist Dr. Momodu Gassama gives some statistics on mental disorder.
Just to answer your question, how important it is to focus on adolescents, as we speak now, 13% of the adolescent population. When you say adolescents, there are people less than, of course, 19 down, 10 to 19 or 17, you call them adolescents. They are critical for us. 13% of those globally are having a mental disorder. They live with a mental disorder. And if you go into statistics, if you unpack these two figures, about 89 million children, adolescents, between 15 and 19 have mental disorder. And again, 18 million children between 10 and 14 years, they have a mental disorder. So where are we?
Deputy Director of Health Services, Dr. Amadou Tinyasi, set light on some of the prevalent causes of mental health.
As previous speakers already mentioned, everybody could be a victim. You and I could be a victim. The next minute I could be a victim, you can be a victim. Because there are many factors that lead to mental health problems. One, biological, which is what? As a result of gene or brain chemistry. The other one is life experience, which is trauma and abuse. The other one is family history of mental health problems. You have some people who have family history of mental health. You have biological, but the reason why I said any of us can be a victim when it comes to life experience, but we can be trauma.
Consequently, among other speakers was Bakari Kamara, a matron at Tanka Tanka, coloring similar remarks. Throughout the day, inspirational personal stories were shared, revealing the profound impact of mental health challenges on individuals and their loved ones. As the day progressed, a dedicated session was held for the National Assembly, providing attendees with an opportunity to present and discuss the proposed mental health bill. Legislators engaged in fruitful debate and exchange perspectives, laying the foundation for a Baptistian consensus on the urgent need for mental health legislation. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Baikor.
The Media Run Challenge, in partnership with Majak, Child Fund the Gambia, UNICEF, has announced the launch of a scholarship initiative to support students currently enrolled in the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. The aim of the program is to alleviate financial burden and allow students to focus on their academic and professional development without the stress of tuition fees. Saleh Kamara has more in this report.
During a ceremony held on Monday, February 12, 2024, the Media Run, along with its partners, unveiled a scholarship program specifically designed to support students at Majak who are facing financial difficulties in completing their education. The initiative seeks to provide financial relief for students, enabling them to fully concentrate on their academic pursuits and professional growth. Abdullah Jawo, the chairperson of the Media Run Challenge, provided an overview of the scholarship program, emphasizing that members of the Media Run are not only beneficiaries of this initiative, but also the torchbearer of truth, accountability, and voices that safeguard collective understanding.
Of this new scholarship package is a pilot initiative designed specifically for its members currently enrolled at Media Academy for Journalism and Communication, who are facing financial challenges in meeting their tuition obligations. We recognize the importance of education in the field of journalism and communication, and we are committed to providing assistance to those demonstrated a passion, to those need. But those who we are supporting people that we know they are part of us, but are facing challenges in making sure they are able to feed their tuition bills.
Sang Mendy, the managing director of Majak and one of the initiators of the Media Run, expressed deep appreciation for the partners and their contribution to this significant endeavor.
They must be grateful to those people, and to us at Majak, we are happy that the funds are coming, but we are even happier because the funds are coming to deserving students who have started and probably have been left behind by their colleagues because they could not afford their tuition fee. So to the partners that have actually funded our events, I would say this is a worthy cause that requires more funding.
Amadou Oba, the Secretary General and the head of the communication of Media Run Challenge, explains the criteria for selecting beneficiaries, highlighting the requirement that the awardees must be Media Run members.
The criteria is that you have to be an enrolled student at Majak, like we said. For now, we are starting with Majak. Questions were asked about what about other schools, and we said this is a pilot project. We want to see how it will be with Majak. And like I said, as we give them the scholarship, we will also be monitoring and assessing them and find a way to also extend our tentacles to other institutions. The third one is that, of course, we don't only look at your presence as a member of Media Run Challenge or your attributes as an enrolled student of Majak, but also your performance. We were able to partner with Majak to seek the data of all these identified students to find out their respective grades from
The beneficiaries of the scholarship program expressed their gratitude to the donors and underscored the positive impact it will have on their journalism careers. They recognize the scholarship as a valuable opportunity to save their future and express determination to make the best use of it. In total, an amount of $56,300 has been provided to support 7 students, covering half of their tuition fees. Among the beneficiaries were 5 girls and 2 boys. The launch of this scholarship program demonstrates the dedication of the Media Run and its partners to empowering the next generation of journalists and ensuring that financial barriers do not hinder their educational aspirations and professional growth. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Sally Kamara.
Congratulations to the Media Run team there, and that story ending there by Sally Kamara. We now take a look at news outside the Gambia. In their latest music video, Senegalese hip-hop collective Enough denounces President Macky Sall's regime, highlighting issues the press cannot cover. Rapper Fatim voices grievances against Sall's governance, calling for justice and democracy. Nationwide protests erupt following the postponement of elections escalating into violence. Opposition condemns the delay as a constitutional coup. prompting ECOWAS intervention. Amid strikes and police brutality, civil disobedience gains momentum online. Enough oneself supporters now challenge his role, advocating for democracy through their music. Rights and civil groups call on restraint with security forces accused of brutality, a charge the government denies. Al Jazeera's Nicholas Hick reports from Dakar, Senegal.
Enough is a Senegalese hip-hop collective denouncing in their latest clip what the press in their country can't. Macky Sall crushing the poor, complicit with the justice system, repressing democracy, favoring autocracy. Lyrics from rapper Fatim. She says she's giving a voice to the voiceless.
My fight is not to bring down Macky Sall. I'm on the side of the people to carry their voice. The people is unwell. The people is suffering. This is a revolt. Our music is a weapon to shake the government.
A student, a street vendor, and a 16-year-old boy all killed during nationwide demonstrations on Friday after Sall announced a 9-month delay to the presidential elections meant to take place this month. Violence on the streets spread to Parliament, where the delay in the elections was voted into law after security forces booted out opposition MPs who were staging a protest in the National Assembly. For the opposition, the delay in the elections is a constitutional coup orchestrated by President Sall in a country that has experienced only peaceful power transitions. The West African body ECOWAS sent a delegation to mediate an end to an unprecedented political crisis in a region marked by military takeovers.
I hold out my hand to say to the political actors, be careful. Be careful because we are not alone on the stage. And if politicians are not capable of getting along with the essentials, other organized forces will do it instead. And they'll lose everything, and the country too.
Several unions, including transport, teachers, and the press unions, are taking part in a nationwide strike on Tuesday. Several journalists have been beaten for filming police brutality. Together, they call on people to join a peaceful, silent march as part of a nationwide civil disobedience movement. Police are out in full force. We're keeping a safe distance because authorities say that this civil disobedience movement is an illegal gathering. But for the organizers, they say the security forces are not protecting the people, but rather the president and his decision to delay the election. In the face of police repression, the movement has gone online. Pressure on the president is growing. Enough, a collective that supported Macky Sall to power in 2012 in the face of the then president trying to extend his time in power, is back at it 12 years on. This time against Sall, a fight for democracy they say they won't give up. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera, Dakar.
The government of South Africa has asked the International Court of Justice (ICJ) to consider whether Israel's plan to extend military operations in Rafah requires that the court uses its power to prevent further imminent breach of their rights of Palestinians in Gaza. In a statement, it says that the country at any time to decide to examine proprio motu whether the circumstances of the case require the indication of provisional measures which ought to be taken and complied by any or all of the parties. Al Jazeera's Fahmida Miller has the latest from Johannesburg.
South Africa says it's lodged an urgent request with the International Court of Justice over Israel's military operations in Rafah. It's asked the UN's top court to consider if an Israeli ground operation in Rafah would require judges to use their powers in order to prevent further breaches of Palestinian rights. You'll recall last month South Africa brought a case accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza. Judges later ruled that Israel must take specific actions to prevent that. Let's speak to Fahmida Miller. She's across all of this for us from Johannesburg. Fahmida, explain this move by South Africa. What has the presidency done here?
Well, you've just outlined some of the orders that were given about 3 weeks ago, and this is an extension of that. And the Department of International Relations in South Africa has said that their request to the International Court of Justice is based on Rule 75.1, where it can approach the court for an urgent order without having to have another hearing, and that the court could use its own discretion given what is happening in Rafah and given the urgency of the situation, and to prevent a further loss of life. And as the Department of International Relations has said, the court should consider additional measures because of the urgency which we had pointed out and the risk of imminent harm to the rights of Palestinians. There's always been a concern around implementation of that original order by the ICJ in terms of Israel preventing the loss of civilian lives, the provision of humanitarian aid. So while that order was given, there's always been concern around monitoring and implementation, and if Israel would pull back, which we haven't seen yet. And South Africa is saying that Israel is already in breach of the order that was given several weeks ago. And so now it wants the court to put in place additional measures. What those measures are is unclear, but we know that South Africa is asking for a declaration that ultimately would protect Palestinian lives.
Famida Miller there with the latest on that move from South Africa for us from Johannesburg. Thanks, Famida.
Finally now, schools have reopened in Zambia as a cholera emergency begins to ease. The virus has killed around 500 Zambians since October last year. Neighboring Zimbabwe is also seeing an improvement, but access to clean water remains a challenge in both countries. Al Jazeera's Haru Mutasa reports from Harare, Zimbabwe.
Health officials in Zambia say the spread of cholera has eased, allowing schools to reopen for the first time this year. Parents are relieved, but cautious.
A little concern, but with the numbers going down, I think there's a little comfort to having the schools open at this particular moment. But also, I think worth noting is we can't keep deferring the academic calendar for the school-going kids.
So I'll ask the question, what is cholera? Around 500 Zambians have died of the virus since this latest outbreak was reported last October. More than 15,000 cases have so far been reported. Neighboring Zimbabwe has also had a similar outbreak. This is an emergency cholera treatment tent. It's not as busy as it was a few weeks ago when a lot of people were falling sick. The government says the number of cases is declining, but people still need to be careful. Access to clean water is a concern, especially in Zimbabwe's many overcrowded poor neighborhoods.
On Fridays, there's no water in the taps. Saturdays and Sundays, we don't get water. We can't flush toilets. They get blocked. A lot of people live in this community.
Preventative measures, including mass vaccination campaigns, are helping contain outbreaks elsewhere in southern Africa. But access to drinkable water and adequate sanitation needs to be addressed, or doctors say this health crisis will keep repeating itself. Haru Mutasa, Al Jazeera, Harare.
That report from Haru Mutasa in Zimbabwe will bring us to the end of this edition of Newscast. But before we go, we look at the main points again. Combating crime and ensuring safety, Gambia Police Force boasts canine unit with trained dogs. Political leaders dialogue, Honorable Salah highlights urgency of data improvement and education. Creating awareness on Gambia's mental health bill, Ministry of Health and partners conduct day-long forum for NAMS. Alleviating financial burden of students at Majak, Media Run and partners launch scholarship program. On the international news, Senegal unrest calls for justice and democracy grow amid election outrage. South Africa makes urgent request to ICJ on Israel's Rafah offensive. Zambia, Zimbabwe cholera emergency. Schools reopen amid clean water constraints. Well, that's it for this edition of today's news. Thank you very much for watching. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our unbeatable programs. Till then, have a wonderful night.